There is a company that is developing drug therapies to treat chronic, debilitating conditions such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
Sarah Hoit is the Chief Social Impact Officer for BioVie and joins us now to talk more about these conditions and the new therapy. So welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm great, thank you.
We're glad you're joining us. Can you first start by telling us about the scale of these diseases that Janelle mentioned?
You know, first of all, I'm so grateful personally that you are focusing on this topic. I think you can't talk about Alzheimer's or dementia without it hitting everyone, every family. It is one of the largest pandemics or epidemics we have of our lifetime. There are over 57 million people worldwide diagnosed, but that is an underreported number because many are not diagnosed. And when someone in the family has Alzheimer's, this also affects the entire family and caregiver ecosystem.
It does.
And so it's stunning. It is the only major killer for which we have no cure. And if you think of just the scale, every 3 seconds, someone in the world will be diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia. So it's staggering.
And I understand you have a personal connection to this disease. Can you share that with us?
I can. I mean, I sometimes sharing your personal story does resonate with others. My grandmother early on developed Alzheimer's, and I watched her face that battle for many years, and actually had started a company in the aging space to connect seniors with their families and loved ones, and was working with thousands of families and seniors who were isolated, connecting them. And along that journey, my husband was diagnosed with early onset. So I had gotten into the industry passionately as a granddaughter and caregiver there, to soon realize that my husband also had it. And we just faced a decade battle. I have a 20 and 21-year-old amazing Samantha and Wesley, who also, to think of kids in this situation watching their father. And we just lost him this past August.
So sorry.
Yes.
And I think, saying that or being willing to share is, again, if we were just to discuss this, you can't say it without it having affected other families. And I think one of the hardest things about this disease, and one of the reasons I am so excited to really be part of a solution that we all need to focus on, is that it's a really, really long goodbye. And there's a very big impact on the entire family when somebody has it.
Well, there seems to be a lot of companies who have developed treatments for this. Can you tell us about what BioVie is doing and what makes it different from others?
Well, this is a very, very hopeful moment. And in fact, if you look at Alzheimer's and dementia and everything that has been tried, we have had about a century with nothing that has worked, with nothing. And so one of the things I want to impart is this is a moment of hope, but also that much, much more needs to be done. This is still the disease under the covers. This is still underfunded. There is still a great lack of awareness. BioVie has a really, really promising molecule, and is, in my mind, a really special and different biotech company. When I was approached to come, given my passion for the industry, my personal commitment, it's really a company, number one, that does focus on the family and a person-centered care, that we really want to be part of a collaborative solution. We are coming at it in a really different way. We are coming at it from inflammation. And it makes so much sense to me, because what happens over time is we have neuroinflammation. We believe, as do many others, that this inflammation is at the heart of the biology of what causes your cells to break down and do the plaques and tangles. So we are trying to get at the heart of it. I mean, the problem with this disease is you have it for so many years. The things that are accumulating in our body, the things that cause neuroinflammation, which we can talk about, are happening over a very long period of time. So when we first noticed my husband in his early 50s with the disease, he had already had it for a very, very long time. So we are attacking the neuroinflammation. We have a novel molecule called NE3107, developed by two of our scientists who've been working on this passionately for over 20 years, Chris and Clarence. And in our early phase 2 studies, it really went beyond our hopes. We saw in those studies both in Parkinson's, we saw motor control coming back fairly quickly. We saw in the Alzheimer studies, we saw major improvements in memory and cognition. Now, this is early days, early stuff. So we are now, because of the hopeful results that we got, we are in a stage 3 right now. We've just finished filling a stage 3 clinical trial for Alzheimer's. Very exciting. So by the end of this year, we will, in a double-blinded study, we will be able to prove out what we saw. But we know this molecule is anti-inflammatory, and we know inflammation is bad. And so one other very unusual piece of BioVie, we have started a passion project of mine called Social Impact Partners. It's a nonprofit. And we are focused on bringing awareness, collaboration, bringing public-private, bringing the knowledge together, increased funding.
Well, Sarah, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Hey, to learn more, you can go to BioViePharma.com. And then to learn more about the nonprofit that Sarah was mentioning at the end, you can visit socialimpact.partners.